had to sit through on day one. Cushions and beanbags sprouting everywhere like colourful spores. Beth takes a sort of pride in her own stripped-back decor. What sort of person is her roommate that she has to advertise her personality so forcefully? A person who wears band t-shirts? A person who reads old paperbacks in public and hopes to be asked about them? Sadie's bed is unmade, which reassures Beth somehow. She sits on the rumpled blankets to examine the built-in bookcase. Her attention is immediately drawn to a familiar bright yellow spine. Benjamin Crow's selected poems. Absent-mindedly, she pulls it out. Most of the shelves, however, are taken up by DVDs. The Lodger, Cat People, Gaslight, The Hitchhiker, Diabolique. Unlike the books, the movies aren't alphabetized. It bothers her, an itch she wants to scratch. The apartment door opens. She has no chance of making it back to her room unnoticed. But she plants her feet anyway, tensed for flight. The book, incriminatingly, is still in her hand. Half of Sadie's face is obscured by a striped scarf, which she unwinds with wearing efficiency. Her features, when they emerge, are fiercely defined. Strong brows, big glasses, heavily glossed lips. "Oh, hello, Beth," she says. "Yes, sorry, I came in to get a tampon, a hair tie." "Don't worry." Sadie drops her satchel on a tiny, perfect footstool. "I've creeped many bookshelves in my time. They're arranged by year, by the way, not by title or director." "What?" "The films, if you want to borrow any." "Oh, thanks." The kettle clicks off. Beth nods towards the kitchen, grateful for the cue. Sadie blocks her way. "Stay and have a chat," she instructs. Sadie is doing English in a 2-subject moderatorship with film studies. She's from Laois and her accent sounds flat to Beth, almost terse. Sadie gestures at Beth's wet hair, her dampening t-shirt. "Are you just out of the shower?" "I was swimming." Sadie nods. "You have powerful shoulders. Here, what's your last name again? I want to add you." Her phone is out, her fingers probing the screen. Beth says, "Crowe," before she remembers how pitiful her social media presence is. "Any relation to your man?" she says, gesturing towards the selected poems. Still, she scrolls. "He's my grandfather. Or was." Sadie gapes at her. "Fuck off." "Yeah, it's no big deal, really. I never knew him or anything, because, well, obviously. It's kind of a big deal. He was one of the few poets on the Leaving Cert that wasn't an absolute dose to study. The sea god. The fucking sea god. Man, it destroyed me. What's your favourite of his poems?" Beth folds her arms and looks at the ceiling, hoping to convey the difficulty of choosing. Skiff, if I had to pick one? I'm not as familiar with his work as I should be, to be honest. "That's allowed," Sadie says, leaning on her desk. "She were reared on him. There was probably no getting away from him." Exactly. In truth, Skiff is one of the only of her grandfather's poems that really speaks to her, because of its description of the small pointed boat, a knife for cutting through water. The phrase sometimes pops into her head when she's swimming, like a mantra. With Sadie, Beth's relationship to Benjamin Crowe seems to be an asset. In school it was different. Kids mockingly recited lines from the poems within her earshot. When she objected, they'd just laugh. "Calm down, Beth. Don't off yourself." Studious types complained about her unfair advantage. Teachers asked her in front of everyone if Crowe would come up on the exam this year, as if she had any way of knowing. He had come up in the event. Beth had hesitated for a moment, then chose the Elizabeth Bishop question instead. They are lounging on the beanbags, half watching The Lady from Shanghai on a retro DVD projector. At some point, Sadie produces a bottle of wine from under her desk and pours them each a glass. Beth has not done much drinking in her life, and as the wine takes effect, her movements feel slow and deliberate, as though she's underwater. "So it's just you and your mum at home?" Sadie asks, after describing her own household. Though Sadie claims to be well shot of them,